Hello everybody. I hope you guys are having a blessed and prosperous day or night wherever you are. And if you're new here to my channel, hello, my name is Chelsea and I am a narcissistic abuse survivor. And this video in particular is going to talk about my healing journey as far as life after leaving my narcissistic family after the abuse that they put me through. So let's get into it, okay? So it's been exactly 8 years since I left my narcissistic grandma's house. It hasn't been easy for me. The first few months has been tough on me because I was sitting there like, okay, I'm on my own now. I'm doing everything on my own now. And I have to, be an adult now that I'm away from the toxicity of my grandmother and the rest of my family. Now, it took me a while to get used to it because there were times where I'd be out for a certain amount of hours and I would freak out. I'd be like, oh my God, I know when I get home, I know my grandma's gonna chew my ass out. But then I have to remind myself, I was like, wait a minute, I'm living on my own now. I'm living in my own place. I can be out as long as I want to, as long as I please. I had to remind myself of that because when you're pretty much conditioned being under your narcissistic person's spell, whatever family member or whoever you're living with, when you're under their spell, basically, they pretty much condition you to do what they say or what they want you to do. If they pretty much set a curfew for you or some shit like that, then you have to abide by it. Cause if you don't, you're gonna get your ass chewed, And even though my grandmother didn't set a curfew for me, mind you, I was already an adult during those times, it still bothered me because, I knew that if I were to stay out till 1, 2 in the morning and I come home, she's gonna chew my ass out. Maybe not that same night, but the next morning, she was gonna chew my ass out for being out. Mind you, once again, I'm an adult, but she still treated me like a child. And I did not like that at all. So once I got on my own, I had to uncondition myself from her rules and her regulations for the simple fact that I was living on my own now. So throughout my healing journey, it's been tough for me the last 8 years that I've been on my own. Even when I lost my first apartment and became homeless and living in shelters and living with friends and whatnot. And I like knowing that I did not go back and live with my grandmother once I lost everything. I just stuck it out and just managed to get through it with the grace of God, of course. With God's guidance, I was able to conquer what I was going through during that time, homelessness. And even during that tough time, I was still healing. And once I got back on my feet again, it felt good. I felt good that even after everything that I lost, I gained. It's like I knew that I lost something, but I also gained something better. And once I moved in my house, this house here that you see here, I lived in this house now for 6 years. And I like to think back on those times because during my homelessness times, I was thinking, I was like, wow, I could have easily went back and moved back in with my grandmother, and I already know that it was going to be a shit show if I were to move back over there. So I knew then that if I still wanted my freedom and if I still want to continue to heal, even during that tough time in my life, if I wanted to continue to heal, I can't take myself back there, no matter what happens. If I lose this place where I'm at right now, I wouldn't go back over there. I wouldn't go back and live with my grandmother. I will pay a whole bunch of money to stay in a hotel before I do that. I will live under a bridge before I go live with my grandmother, because I know that if I were to not even just go back and live with her, but if I were to go back to having contact with her, it will disrupt my healing process, because even after 8 years, I'm still healing. I'm still healing. Because I'm still trying to also to learn to forgive, because even though my mother, she's estranged from my grandmother and my aunts, her sisters too, as well. She turned to God, and she kind of gave me some advice on that. She told me, she's like, I know that neither of us haven't spoke to our family in years, but she told me, she's like, you have to forgive. Not really for them, but for yourself, because that's the number one part of healing from the abuse, is to forgive the person who abused you. Because if you don't, it's just going to keep tugging at you. It's going to keep tugging and tugging until you just pretty much let go. And that's one thing I'm learning to do. I'm learning to let go, because if I keep harping on it and everything, it's going to pretty much jeopardize my healing process. And my husband also told me that too, that I have to learn to forgive and let go of that kind of hurt, because it's hindering me from prospering and reaching my goals in life. But the thing is, I've said this on the last video too, that, it's okay to forgive, but don't you ever forget what they did to you. Never forget in your mind. Keep that in your memory bank. Don't ever forget what they did to you, but forgive them. And that's one thing that I'm learning to do. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to forgive them. That's the first thing I'm really trying to do, is forgive my grandmother and my aunts for what they did to me and the things they said to me growing up. But I'm working on it. I really am. I'm really working on that. That way I can continue to heal from that. And even not just my family, but like my ex that I was with for 9 years, he was a narcissist as well. And I'm trying, and I think I can honestly say that I healed from his abuse towards me. And actually, when we broke up for that final time, I felt like I was already healed, because I left that relationship mentally and emotionally before I actually left physically. During the times I was leaving that relationship mentally and emotionally, I was starting to heal. I was already completely healed. So once we broke up for that final time, I was already completely healed from that relationship. And just pretty much, I'm still trying to find other ways to cope and deal with my healing process from dealing with my narcissistic family and their abuse. Now, my husband, I hate to say this, and there were so many times I got so angry with him, because he doesn't know what exactly a narcissist is, even though I've educated him on that. But my husband is the type that likes to give people the benefit of the doubt. But one thing I had to tell him, when it comes to a narcissist, you cannot give them the benefit of the doubt, because giving them the benefit of the doubt is just going to cost you a lot of pain and heartache later on. And you keep giving them the benefit of the doubt, it is the more they can manipulate you even more, because that's all what a narcissist does. It's all about manipulation with them. But besides all that, like I'm trying to turn my healing process into a direction that's more therapeutic. That way I don't think about the abuse that I've been through with my narcissistic family. Like, I like doing makeup, as you can see. I I love doing makeup. It's one of my biggest passions. I've always been into makeup ever since I was a child. I'm just now, I wouldn't say now, but just about 2 years ago when the pandemic hit, I, I got bored because, when the pandemic hit, and the shutdown, everything happened, we was all stuck in the house, and I don't know what it was, but I ended up downloading the TikTok app, and I started watching all these makeup videos and tutorials and stuff like that. And honestly, I was just like, I was very, curious about the makeup world and the beauty community and things like that. And my husband kind of put a bug in my ear and said, why don't I try doing makeup and perfect my skills and my craft? And that's what I did. And I look at that as doing makeup as therapeutic to me, because pretty much makeup, it gives me the confidence. It gives me a lot of confidence, that I can, it gives me all the confidence in the world, and I can tell myself that I am beautiful. I feel like that's when I'm at my, I can't really describe it, but like when I have makeup on, let's just say when I have makeup on, I feel real beautiful. I mean, even though my husband and a lot of other people tell me I'm beautiful with or without makeup, but when I have that makeup on, my confidence is through the roof. But anyway, that's pretty much what I do, to keep from thinking about the abuse I endured from my narcissistic family, is I do makeup, I read a book. I also too, I'm a major bookworm. I have a whole, like, I wouldn't say like a library, but I have like a nice shelf full of, I have a decent amount of books, and I actually have a few in my bedroom that I haven't really got a chance to read yet. But even when I'm at work, I listen to audiobooks. That's what kind of helps pass the time, is when I listen to audiobooks when I'm at work. And yeah, working also does take my mind off the narcissistic abuse, the memories anyway, that I still have in my head, And even after, there were times I've had nightmares. I mean, I haven't had any in a while, but during the times I've had nightmares, like, I wouldn't be able to go back to sleep because of the nightmares will keep me up, because I would have nightmares about the abuse I endured from my family. But I hardly ever have those nightmares anymore. Maybe once or twice a year I might have them. But and I think that alone too, that kind of lets me know that I'm healing, because I remember when I first when I just moved out of my grandmother's house, and my first few months living on my own, I used to have nightmares back to back, because I was scared that my aunts or my grandma might try to come find me and try to cause problems, in my household. Like when I first moved in my first apartment, I was scared that they were going to come find me. My grandma, my aunts might try to come find me and might try to cause trouble, and because of that, I was very paranoid. I was really paranoid that they were going to find me, or if I'm out somewhere walking around somewhere in my neighborhood or just out and about, that they might see me and might try to cause trouble for me out in public or something. I mean, I was very paranoid around that time. But now, as years went on, I don't really think about them that much. But just still, like, I'm still healing. I'm still healing from it, because it's, that type of pain never really goes away. Even a therapist, when I was seeing a therapist, the therapist just gives me tools, certain tools to do, and to how to, she just gives me the tools on how to deal and how to heal. She really can't, wave a magic wand and say, okay, boom, you're healed now. You shouldn't have no memories or no issues now. A therapist is just there to give you tools on how to deal with certain things in your life. And that's what my therapist did when I was seeing a therapist. She was just giving me tools on how to heal and, from the abuse I endured. And I used some of those tools, and I also did my own research on how to heal from narcissistic abuse, and I'm taking them little by little, you know, using the tools that I've learned little by little, because I want to heal. I want to heal, that way I can prosper in life. Because I know if I don't heal, then I'm pretty much just holding myself back from what I want to do in my life. And what I want to do in my life, and it's a working process, is, you know, I do have my own little makeup business. I run it from my home, and also I travel locally in my city and state. You know, whenever a customer, a potential client will call me or message me or book me through my website, you know, because I not only do makeup on myself, I also do makeup on other people whenever they ask for it, you know, because makeup, like I said, makeup is my passion. And pretty much I look at it, you know, my healing as far as looking for things that make me happy, and doing makeup is what makes me happy. And also reading books, whether it's romance novels or just anything, you know. I just want to just do things that's going to make me happy. I don't want to think about bad things. I don't want to think about anything negative, because all it's going to do is just hinder me, and I don't want it to happen. And of course, my mom will always tell me to talk to God, and, you know, pretty much give any worries that I have to God. I mean, I don't mean to sound religious or anything, because I do, however, do believe in God. And I know with the strength that God give me, you know, I know that I can conquer anything. And also I can also, with the grace from God, I can continue to heal peacefully. And I know it's not going to be easy for me, even though it's been 8 years. I mean, some people take 10, 11, maybe 20, 30 years to heal from abuse. I feel like when you heal, there's really no limit. You heal at your own time. Even though it's been 8 years for me, I'm still healing from the abuse. And I know that it's a challenge. The healing process is a challenge, because to me, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for everybody who's been through what I went through as far as a narcissistic abuse, you know, certain things, you know, will trigger you. You know, something that someone said or something that someone did, it triggers you. Because, you know, that's what happens when you've been abused and something happens where it triggers you, you lash out. And that's what I did. And I'm trying to control that part of myself too, because it's not good to lash out at people, especially people that supposed to, you know, especially the people that didn't, if they know that they didn't say it intentionally or they didn't mean to, it's not good to always lash out at them. I mean, I would try to say like, hey, can you try not to say this or do this, because that triggers me. That's going to trigger me, you know. And one thing that my husband doesn't understand is that, you know, it's the trauma. You know, the trauma is still going to be there. You know, it's just pretty much I have to be able to use the tools that was given to me to deal with that trauma once again. And also too, my husband likes to tell me too that people can change. Well, no, they can't. Not a narcissist. They don't ever change at all. Like that old saying, a tiger never changes their stripes. They do not change but you know what? I know, but now that I've experienced narcissistic abuse from my grandmother and my aunts, I know what to look for I know the traits and the red flags I know to look for in a narcissistic person, no matter who it is. And I'm glad knowing that I have that skill now, that I can spot the red flags of a narcissistic person. And because of that, I'm pretty much I don't have really true friends, people I can count on and lean on like that, because I don't have that much. I'm not that very trusting of a person, because if I manage to peep any type of narcissistic traits from somebody, I cut them off. If they say anything that's, that sounds like something a narcissist would say, I cut them off. End of discussion. I won't say nothing else. I'm like, nope, I don't think me and you should be cool anymore, because it's just, you're giving me narcissistic vibes, and I can't, like, you seem like a potential narcissist, and I can't be around you. Now, that's just how I am now. I have to watch out for myself and give myself that self-care, because in order for me to avoid going through narcissistic abuse, I have to pretty much be on my guard on whoever I surround myself with, because not everybody has the best intention for me. But see, to be honest, only I know the best. Like I said, only I have the best intentions for myself, because I know me. I'm with myself every day. I know what I can handle, and I know what I can't handle, and it is what it is. So yeah, healing is going to take more time for me, and I'm getting better at it. I'm starting to, just pretty much learn how to cope and how to, just still continue to heal. That's all. And I have to pretty much, keep pushing on in life and keep moving forward. Because looking back, if I keep looking back on my life and looking back on my past, all it's going to do is just hinder me, and I can't have that. So from right now, from this day forward, that I have to keep pushing on and keep prospering in life and continue my healing journey. Sometime. You decide when you feel like you're fully healed and you can actually move on and pretty much do what, prosper in life. But you have to make that choice. You can't keep letting your past keep you from your future, because your past can hinder you if you keep harping on it. So be mindful of that, and always keep a positive attitude, because a positive attitude will get you way further in life. And always remember that you are responsible for your own happiness, and don't ever rely on anybody else to make you happy or to pretty much keep you in the happy state. That's up to you. Your happiness comes from inside you, not from another person. You have to be confident in yourself. You have to pretty much believe in yourself and believe you can do anything you set your mind to it. So always remember that. So I hope you guys learned and took heed on what I was saying as far as the healing process go after the narcissistic abuse. And also feel free to comment down below on your healing process and let me know your journey in that matter. But yeah, that's it, and that's all for today. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you guys later. Goodbye.